friend. Blink.
Coming at you live from Studio One in the bell tower at Holy Flame Castle. Eskalon Online. Daily recap. Pot.
My name is Karla, and with me is my co-host Kaspa.
So we're diving into the nitty-gritty of the Inquisition, those warriors in the fantasy world of Caldera.
Right. Battling the dark wave, the big threat.
Exactly. And these logs, they give us this fly-on-the-wall view of their training.
A digital boot camp, you could say.
Yeah. Vitus runs it. This tough-as-nails commander guy.
I've heard of him.
He's all about tough love, especially with this one recruit, Pyron. Oh, man, Pyron.
What'd he do?
So picture this. Basic cooking lesson, right? Vitus tells them to imagine a volcano while they're making sourdough.
Okay. Baking with a side of imagery. I like it.
Perrin, bless his heart, takes it literally, throws the virtual dough right at Vitus.
Oh, no.
Face plants onto a hot stovetop twice. Even compares himself to a Vantamara, which I guess isn't a good thing in Caldera.
Not exactly a badge of honor, no.
But, thinking about it, even with these funny moments, there's some serious training going on, right?
Okay.
I mean, learning to follow instructions, thinking about consequences, dealing with setbacks, aren't those essential? And that's what makes this so interesting to me. Because buried in these everyday tasks, like baking bread or navigating a virtual world, there are echoes of real-world challenges and the skills you need to overcome them.
Yeah, it's like how you do anything is how you do everything, right?
Exactly.
Even in a virtual training ground, those small actions, those mishaps, they're telling. They reveal something about how we approach challenges.
And speaking of challenges, right, these recruits, they face a test, a little more, physical.
Oh.
So imagine this huge wall, no ropes, nothing, just you and, your wits. Or I guess in this case, they're virtual avatars.
The classic wall climb. I'm guessing it's not as easy as it sounds.
Not even close. And the logs, pure gold. You see them struggling, frustrated, they're battling the challenge itself, but then on top of it all, glitches.
Of course. It wouldn't be a true digital experience without a few glitches.
Right. The 1 minute they're making progress, the next, bam, stuck in the wall.
The joys of virtual reality.
You can't help but laugh. But here's the thing. There's this camaraderie. They're all in it together,
That shared struggle can be a powerful bonding experience.
Totally. Like we see Faye, she's got a bit more experience, and she hears Aurora, who's brand new to all this, struggling below. And Faye just calls out, "Don't worry, I'll give you a hand when you get here." It's a small thing.
But those small gestures can mean the world in those situations. Proof that someone's got your back.
Exactly. And it's not just about, being physically strong or whatever. This training, it gets intellectual too.
Yeah.
We see Garm, one of the recruits, really digging into the history of the Dark Wave, really getting into it.
Interesting. So they're not just passively accepting the game's narrative, they're questioning, exploring.
Oh, absolutely. He even starts asking about something called the Heartland Bund. Vitus, our tough commander guy, even gives him a history lesson.
No way. Vitus. Opening up about the past. There's got to be a good story there.
Oh, yeah. He talks about the Bund being this rival faction.
Yeah.
Wars, chaos. The Inquisition's whole role in all of it.
It reminds me of those moments when you realize every conflict, even a virtual one, has this whole backstory, layers of history that shape the present.
And what happens next is even more interesting. Vitus, after giving this whole impromptu history lesson, tells Garm, "Go talk to Faye. She'll be able to give you the full download."
He delegates, recognizing that he doesn't have all the answers, or maybe just that Faye has a different perspective. Yeah, it's like having, multiple mentors, each with their own thing, their own view on stuff.
Right. It's those informal chats that really hit home sometimes. But in the middle of all this camaraderie and learning, there's this chilling reminder about what's really at stake. They're pushing themselves, right? Supporting each other. And then Mercer, the general, who's been watching this whole time, he just drops this bombshell.
What'd you say?
He's like, the strongest. They belong in the second row. Just throws it out there.
Wow. Talk about a reality check. He's not sugarcoating anything. That's the weight of leadership right there.
Yeah.
Making those impossible choices, especially when you're up against something like the dark wave.
Right. 1 minute it's all sourdough and wall climbs. The next, they're facing the very real possibility that some of them might have to.
Make the ultimate sacrifice. It's something we grapple with in the real world too, right? Those tough calls, the weight of what's at stake.
Yeah.
And it's not just like clicking buttons and grinding levels. We're talking like you make a character, you pick your class, and you basically live out a whole fantasy life.
Yeah.
But in this world, everything matters, right? Like even the politics, the players, it all has real consequences.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's so fascinating about Eskalon Online. It's this incredible blurring of the lines between virtual and real. You've got players building a community, a society, and it feels every bit as real, if not more so, than anything in the quote-unquote real world.
Okay, so like we're going full archaeology on this deep dive. We're going to decode this whole thing, introduce you to the key players, unpack what went down, and like figure out why everyone's freaking out about this.
It's huge, even outside the game. This is the deep dive into the heart of Eskalon. And the story we're about to tell you, it's wild. Intrigue, chaos, giant spiders even.
Don't forget the spiders. Okay, but before we jump into all that, let's set the stage. So picture this. The city of Eskalon. It's like the beating heart of the island. Bustling, merchants, nobles, adventurers, whole melting pot of characters just like living their lives.
Think medieval city, but constantly evolving because, the players are shaping the world with every decision, every action.
Right, and then you've got the Senate, elected officials trying to keep the peace, maintain some semblance of order, which I'm guessing isn't always easy.
Oh, not at all. I mean, you've got players like Gavin, the acting treasurer.
Yeah.
He's just trying to balance the budget, Then you got Brock, the regiment commander. He's all about keeping the peace. And then there's Umbra. She's a senatorial candidate, ambitious, trying to make a name for herself.
Sounds like a recipe for some serious political drama.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
But there's another player in this game, or rather outside of it.
Yeah.
Lurking in the shadows.
Ooh, ominous.
The Sumph.
The Sumph.
Yeah, they're this faction shrouded in secrecy. And they've been at war with Eskalon for some time now.
So we've got this tense standoff, and I'm seeing here in the logs, peace talks just failed. This Donna character, the Sumph leader, I'm guessing she's not exactly Gandhi, huh?
Well, the peace talks did fail, yeah. But here's where it gets interesting. Donna's requesting further dialogue.
Yeah. So it's not just about wiping Eskalon off the map.
It seems like there's a deeper strategy at play here. A motive beyond simple conquest.
A motive that might involve 8 legs and a whole lot of webbing.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it's definitely something to keep in mind.
All right, so we've got the city of Eskalon, we've got this looming threat from the Sumph, and peace is hanging by a thread. Nothing says, like, stable government, like a faction called the Swamp lurking just outside your borders, right?
And that's just the setup. Get ready, because these chat logs are about to take us deep, deep into a city under siege, chaos, confusion, and giant, aggressive spiders.
But they're marching into a full-blown spider war. What are they even expecting to find at this point?
So if you can imagine, the logs paint a scene of, utter carnage. You arrive at the city gates expecting a last stand,
Yeah.
and it's just chaos.
I mean, yeah. Giant spiders attacking a city, I can only imagine.
Dead guards everywhere, wrapped in this thick webbing. Armor's useless,
Yeah.
and giant spider corpses all over the place. Legs still twitching. Ugh.
And the smell?
Oh, God. Don't even get me started.
I have to ask.
It's like 10,000 rotten eggs mixed with, I don't know, pure fear.
Ugh. Yeah, I was going to go with rotten eggs and fear, but I think you might be right.
It's the worst. The chat logs describe it as this, like potent physical presence. This wave of decay and venom. You can practically feel the players recoiling, even just reading it.
That's wild. It's amazing how even through text they captured that.
The visceral horror, it really speaks to the power of collective imagination,
Yeah.
These players are all experiencing this nightmare together, and it just amplifies everything.
So is everyone just frozen, like, staring at this spider-infested hellscape?
Well, not everyone. There's Bregor, remember?
Bregor, he's...
The adept.
Right, the battle maid.
He's calmly tending to the wounded, just like amidst all the chaos. And then there's total natural, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, he manages to stabilize a guard who's, he's in bad shape.
Wow.
Yeah, real quick thinking.
Yeah.
Demonstrates a real aptitude for, what do they call it? Battlefield medicine.
Huh. So it's like those classic disaster movies where,
Yeah.
like the chaos bringing out the best and the worst and everyone.
Exactly. And speaking of which,
Brock, our decisive regiment commander.
he makes
Yeah.
A controversial call, let's say. Yeah, he decides they're going to burn the entire Goss down.
Hold on. The entire sewer system, as in the place where all the...
That's the one.
Wow.
Brock figures, the spiders are using it as a breeding ground, so only way to eliminate the threat is to burn it all down.
That's a pretty drastic measure.
It's a bit extreme.
What do the other players think about this?
Well, it's a mixed bag, Some horrified, understandably, pointing out the potential for, massive damage to the city. Not to mention the
unpleasantness of it all.
Yeah.
Burning sewage everywhere.
But then you have others who are like, we got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate times, right?
And Brock, being Brock, I imagine he's not exactly taking suggestions at this point.
Not really, no. He rallies those who are with him.
So what happens? Do they actually burn the sewers down?
Oh, yeah. And it is chaotic, let me tell you.
Yeah.
People running around, bucket lines, the whole 9 yards. The sky's raining ash and embers.
Yeah.
They even say the arena caught fire.
The arena, really?
Yeah, and the bridge collapsed. Total pandemonium.
That sounds like something out of a nightmare.
It was a night Eskalon will never forget.
So wait, they actually went through with it. They torched the Goss.
Oh, yeah. No turning back at that point. The logs describe this wall of fire just ripping through the underbelly of the city.
And the spiders?
Oh, they're not happy about it, that's for sure. You start seeing these messages pop up in the chat. Players screaming, characters getting bitten, poisoned.
It's like something out of a horror movie.
Worse. Because, these players, they've poured hours, days even, into building their characters.
Right, and now they're just like spider food.
Pretty much. But then,
Oh.
just when you think it can't get any worse.
It doesn't.
Remember how the arena caught fire?
Yeah.
Well, turns out it wasn't just a small fire.
Don't tell me.
The whole thing goes up in flames, collapses, takes half the bridge with it.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
So now you've got, giant spiders, fire, a collapsing city? What's left at that point?
Not a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even amidst all this chaos, we start to see glimmers of hope.
Really? Where? I'm not seeing it.
Remember Turn?
The one who saved that guard?
He steps up in a big way, starts organizing the other players, getting people to safety, treating the wounded, even manages to rally a group to put out the fires before they spread too far.
Wow. So he's like the unexpected hero.
Exactly. And, it's not just him. We see other players, everyday citizens, stepping up too, sharing supplies, offering words of encouragement, even cracking jokes to keep spirits up.
That's actually kind of beautiful in a weird way.
It is. It speaks to that human need to come together in the face of adversity, even when that adversity comes in the form of, giant city-destroying spiders.
So they managed to pull through.
Against all odds, yeah. The spiders were eventually dealt with, the fires were put out, and the city, it started to rebuild.
But it wasn't easy, I imagine.
Oh, not at all. The scars of that night, they run deep. And the debate over Brock's decision, whether it was necessary or reckless, that's still raging on in the forums to this day. But, there's one thing I took away from all of this, one big takeaway.
Yeah.
It's that, even in a virtual world, the human spirit, it's a powerful thing.
It really is. Well, on that note, this has been an absolutely incredible deep dive. Spiders, political intrigue, a city literally on fire. Eskalon Online, you never disappoint. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of online chaos, folks. Until next time.